good morning, good afternoon, hamjambo. The reason I say good afternoon, good morning is because we are live streaming and we have so many friends across the world watching us. So we are global today. Before I make my formal remarks, I'd like to just take an opportunity to introduce very dear friends of mine who have traveled far and wide from United States of America, particularly Washington, D.C., Atlanta, Georgia, and also from Australia, Perth. So I'd like to introduce Mr. Kevin Onyona. Stand and say hello, wave. Kevin is the CEO of Swahili Village, one of the best restaurants, African restaurants in America. And I say that, I don't say that lightly, he's a Kenyan and doing great things as our brand ambassador for Kenya, and we're very proud that he made it all the way from Washington, D.C. Thank you, Kevin. I'd like to introduce Dr. Kai Della. Just stand so they can see you. Dr. Kai Della is a dear sister of mine as well. We have worked together on the Hill in the US for many years, but she is a senior advisor for Honorable Hakeem Jeffries, the leader of Minority Party, Democratic Party in America, and probably the future president of United States. So we have someone representing the office. Thank you so much, Dr. Kai. We also have another friend of ours, Olashade Bisi. Shade, please stand. She is an international designer, fashion designer out of Atlanta, Georgia, but a very dear sister of ours. We've been together many years throughout our careers and the life journey. We have one more guest, but the guest is going to join us while we're eating via Zoom. Dr. Enos Banda, a global law degree and scholar that is known for his energy practice, but beyond that, also an investment banker. He's a former CEO of major companies, corporations in South Africa, but also is a dear friend and a mentor. So he's going to join us after this. As the incoming chairperson of University Council, I'd like to thank the outgoing council for the great work and leadership they provided to the university during their tenure. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to share a little bit about myself as your new chair of this prestigious university. I am a daughter of the soil, born and bred in the Great Rift Valley. I was privileged to have traveled and studied and trained abroad. However, my roots were always back home. It gives me lots of pleasure to see the work that Mmust'S is doing today, and it shows that they are aligning and striving to mirror global standards. For me, being at Mmust'S today, it's not like being back home. I feel at home. When I left the country over 2 decades ago with less than 25,000 shillings for further studies, I was able to navigate my way through studies until securing a job that saw me rise through the ranks from a manager to a C-suite executive at the top leading organizations in the world, and was placed right at the center of United States Congress, the corridor of global power. Yeah, clap for me. And you know why I should clap for me? Because we were very few. I was among the 3 black Africans, from Africa, not the black Americans, but the Africans, top 3. And I'm so glad to have raised that flag of Kenya. So I was able to raise our flag to be able to be the chair of this prestigious school today. I want to share this opportunity to every student that comes to Mmust'S, that the common values that guided me were hard work, patience, tenacity, motivation, but that's not all you need, because everybody gets up in the morning and are motivated, but you can only have 1% of motivation. Most importantly was discipline, and should drive you to achieve whatever you want in today's world. The university, as we've been told by the Vice Chancellor, was established with a vision of being a premier institution in science, technology, and innovation. With this in mind, we are focused in aligning our processes to propel Mmust'S towards becoming a top performer in Kenya and the global stage. Remember, the world is no longer just global, it's become flat. So being a science, an innovator, and a technology university, there are certain things that we must be able to do to move forward. So the framework, you ask me why, how do we do it? I heard Mr. Benjamin, the president of the Student Council, say, why are we not having this? Why, they're just asking for the bare minimum. The bare minimum. We just want, he said, I just want a fair student center. I mean, I almost cried. And the reason why I almost cried is because while they were standing here, I was reminded at a time when I was at University of Central Oklahoma, in Edmond, Oklahoma, and where we were working so hard, and we thought we had, it's literally America, so you have everything. But imagine, we were still fighting for rights at the university, and that is already a privilege. But imagine today, all he said was, I want a fair student center. If that doesn't touch you, then I don't know what will. Because to say fair is not enough as a science and innovation and technology university. They deserve the best. They deserve the best. The framework for achieving this position includes the following key elements. Number one, culture change. We're talking about it. We want to revolutionize the way we perceive education. It's time to say goodbye So let me just rephrase and repeat. It's never bad to repeat, because mistakes are good sometimes. So I will repeat again. The framework for achieving this position includes the following elements. Number one, culture change. We've been talking about it, and it's just a matter of discussing how we integrate and work together. We want to revolutionize the way we perceive education, and we are really saying goodbye and bidding farewell to the notion that success is solemnly measured by grades on a piece of paper. Instead, we envision Mmust'S as a dynamic hub where students not only gain knowledge but also acquire essential life skills needed to thrive in their future careers. When we say that, it's not just getting your degree and leaving at the end of your 4-year. The question becomes, so many students are being churned out of Kenyan universities, and it is a challenge. After leaving the university, then what? So what? You're the best, and then what? The job markets are no longer accepting the best of the best. So therefore, we just have to start to reshift, re-strategize, think of ways of how we can create partnerships to move out these students to either overseas, to the East African community, and just open our minds that beyond just finding a job, we could also be creators. Why can't we not find an Elon Musk from Mmust'S? Do you understand? Number two, processes and systems. We will optimize the grade that we have here at Mmust'S and benchmark with the world to ensure we are constantly ahead of the curve, fostering a world-class performance and maximizing value creation. Number 3, innovation and technology. It goes without saying, as an innovative, and I don't want to say anything that will offend anyone, but if I do, I ask for your forgiveness in advance. So, when you go to visit different universities worldwide, because we've traveled worldwide, and when they say it's a science and innovation and technology, literally, that particular university, as we're saying we are benchmarking, that particular university has the latest modern facilities that align with the statement of being a science and technology university. So we see that Mmust'S has opportunity to definitely be part and engage in this new innovation of technology. We are saying this will be embedded as an enabler for sustainable development and continuous improvement, given that today's world requires skill set, particularly in cybersecurity and artificial intelligence. So if you're an engineer, for instance, I'll stop there for a minute. If you're an engineer, for instance, what we saw today, it's going to be now robotic. Why can't we get a robotic instruments and equipment that prepare our students to be able to be competitive in today's world? Because, if you're saying the world is flat, globalization is flat now, meaning somebody can be in Pakistan, so a student can be here, but if they are equipped with the new use of different technology and innovations, they could be open to accessing the world marketplace for their jobs. They can be placed better. One of the key focus also areas as the 7th Council takes charge will be also on climate. We will leverage on technology to ensure that Mmust'S will be a leading institution in providing global solutions to mitigate on climate changes as we target to work closely with government and developing carbon credits solutions for this great nation. I just thought about carbon credits. While we were walking, I think we were informed by the VC and the Deputy Vice Chancellor that indeed we host the biggest forest. Why can't we collect carbon credits? The companies are there to pay, and that's revenue too. That's part of generation of revenue with climate change and carbon credits collection. This agenda will require both the council, the faculty, and the students to leverage each other's expertise in driving innovation for us to achieve the outcomes we need to deliver on this innovation and technology. Lastly, on this innovation and technology, we need to remember the rapid evolution in technology industry is affecting our world and everyday life. That's why I keep saying it. So this AI is now starting to be used in industries, literally all sectors. Doesn't matter whether human resource, doesn't matter if you've done accounting, doesn't matter if you're an engineer. AI is being used just across all industries. And that is why we are saying we have to be quite aligned and be ready to be competitive on the world. So therefore, this requires us, what will we do? It requires us to rapidly adapt method of teaching skills. Practical tools and experience is what the industry is seeking for. My aim is for our graduates to have a set post-education goal, or at least begin their journey in the industry before they graduate. A lot of international universities place students already to work while they're in their 3rd year about to just finish. So they get them ready to be able to compete in the world. We can achieve this by collaboration with the industry. Our young generation possesses the agility, mind flexibility, and sort of out of the box ways of thinking, if I may say. I experienced this during my studies and by exposure to the corporate and industry. We need to think outside the box and foster creative thinking and mind agility. A good example is our fellow Israelis who take an idea and turn it into a multi-billion-dollar acquisition. We truly need more M-Pesas, and I believe most can produce those. Number 4, and most critical, is sustainability. As a council, relying on funding from the exchequer does not drive long-term sustainability. That is just the bottom line. And we will not achieve the agenda that we have. We will work together to look for new revenue streams, leverage on the innovation that we will develop. When we think of revenue streams, it's not complicated. It's mostly just organization and governance and just planning. So many ways that we can raise, in addition to the endowment funds, is really just expanding what that endowment fund would mean. It has been done in Boston, at MIT, it's been done in Harvard schools, it's been done in South Africa, University of Cape Town. A lot has been done. Endowment fees can be what actually sustains most of our future essential projects. Like, for instance, the engineering TVET that is being constructed, that could have been funded by an endowment. Endowment, let me give you an example. Endowment funding for a university like University of Maryland is about $20 billion. Do you understand? $20 billion. And what they do is generational. It's not something you just raise today and you eat it today. So what they do is they do that and invest in future so that in 10, 20 years, somebody says, that was done, that belongs to, let's say Masinde Muliro, for instance. That's an endowment funded project. So it's not, endowment funds are not meant to be what we use for now and finish. It's supposed to be what we leave for legacies. That is what the best have done in the world, and I think we need to start benchmarking and thinking outside the box in that. There's so many developers looking to come in and partner with schools that have good balance sheet. So these are things we're going to start working with the council members and the entire management to look at areas of where we can generate revenue in schools. Yesterday I was part of this performance contracting that the Vice Chancellor invited me, and I saw an opportunity of conferences. Conferences brings money. It brings money, particularly if you're bringing internationals to the university. That's already money. You can also look at local sponsors. That's money to the university. So we'll just work together in creating different ways and new innovative ways. Say kidogo kidogo hujaza kibaba. So this is exactly what we will do step by step, and I think together we will achieve what is needed to be achieved. We have the opportunity to develop new partnerships with local and global institutions to deliver additional resource mobilization, which will achieve common objectives aligned with them. During my tenure as the Chair of Council, I'd like us to engage differently. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart, especially on matters leadership and governance. We will come up with new ways of engagement, and I will ensure the agenda of the council meetings will emanate the administration, the students, and the council. However, our students are our customers, and they need to be the center pillar of everything we do. When I say center pillar, I keep getting very emotional when I talk about a student, because I was once a student and I understand the struggle. If you are here at the university and you say to yourself that I'm going to study from, let's say after classes you want to stay in the library until perhaps 10 p.m. and then you want to walk home, perhaps there are no houses inside campus, but maybe you live outside. If a student is our center of pillar and they are the ones we are here to serve truly, then we need to think of security. The VC touched on that, but security is key. I cannot imagine my younger sister walking in the dark at night. I don't know what would happen, and God forbid that. But I imagine every student is like my younger sister or brother. And so we need to be sort of inside and be connected with the students more than perhaps we are, because they are the ones we are serving. And let me tell you a little secret. I've done fund mobilization to some universities in Nigeria and other parts of Africa. And the key is, the more you mention two things, research and development, and the more you keep mentioning students for democracy and students for the future generations, brighter minds, is the more you will actually get funders running to give you money. There's so much funds available. The question is always, how do we package our ask, or rather our request? And so that's really, really key for us, that we are going to make sure our students are the center pillar. And I like that the president of the Students' Council has talked about willing to work with us, and we are open. Our doors are open. We will engage together. There will be no medium. We will engage together. We want to also, the academic bodies as well, the unions, we are here, we are new. Consider us not your enemies, but your partners in this journey. We're here to work together. There is nothing complicated in this life. I've learned that, and I've learned that nothing cannot be resolved without just having a sit down and understanding of minds. A little bit of compromises here and there, but together we have to remember that this place, we all exist. We all have our jobs. We are all here because, again, of the students. As we embark on this transformation journey, I invite you to join me so that together we can shape the future of Mmust'S and propel it to greater heights of excellence. I quote the 64th chapter of the Tao Te Ching attributed to Confucius that says, "A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a simple step." My council and I will be humble enough to learn from the faculty, the students, and from each other to ensure we deliver excellence in Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology. Together, let's create a future that is both extraordinary and academically enchanting for the future generations. I take this opportunity to also thank His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Education, and our newly elected Cabinet Secretary without portfolio and Secretary General of the United Democratic Party, Mr. Cleopas Malala, for having confidence in me and my great council for the honor to lead this great institution. On behalf of the council, I give our assurance and commitment to all Kenyans, and we shall serve with dedication and distinction. Let's the transformation journey begin. I thank you. God bless Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology. God bless Kenya. Thank you very much.